Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into my podcast, Xena, Life is a Dominatrix. This is episode 37. This will be aired on Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. Before I begin discussing today's topic, I just want to note that each and every my podcast episode, I have a link that leads to my Venmo page. Tips are not obligated, but tips are appreciated. So thank you very much. And also, my voice might sound a little raspy and a little clogged up because I am clogged up. My allergies are in full effect. For the past 3-4 days, I was just walking for miles and miles, just enjoying the weather here in New York City. And it was like 80 degrees, 85 degrees. And now today, Tuesday, 50 degrees. So the temperature drops and then the temperature increases and then drops again. It just doesn't agree with my allergies. And each and every time it does that, it just really acts up. And all the pollen in the air and taking photos of flowers and being around flowers. Flowers are pretty, but flowers really aggravate my allergies. So yeah, that's why my voice is a little, it's a little clogged up. At any rate, today's topic, promotion. I want to let you all know that I am now going to be throwing parties here in Queens. And the first date of the party is May 5th, Friday, May 5th. Friday, May 5th is also my birthday. And I was thinking, okay, last birthday I went out for a steak dinner. And I don't remember what else I did. And I enjoyed my birthday. And then this particular birthday, I'm like, I'm going to have to think about it. And then I'm like, okay, it's the first Friday. And this establishment in Queens asked me to throw parties. And they stated the first day would be May 5th. Can you do it? I said, okay, I'll have to think about it. And then I agreed. I said, okay, I'll do it. But they approached me, this place called Sugar Freak here in Queens. They approached me. The owner had an idea of throwing events at their establishment. And I stated, this was early 2023, like around February. And I had stated, I said, I used to throw parties in Chicago for about 9 years, almost 10 years. And the owner was like, oh, really? Okay, well, we're really interested in having events at our location, and would you be interested? And this was like February of 2023, so I had to think it over for like a month or two. So early April of 2023, I just agreed. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Why not? Back in Chicago, when I threw parties, I stopped. Well, first I started in June of 2006, and then I stopped in 2015. I can't remember which month. I was just feeling a bit burnout and very tired at the end, and I'm like, it's too much work for me, and I just stopped. I just abruptly stopped. So I received emails like, hey, when's the next party? I said, I'm there probably isn't going to be a next party because I need to work on other projects, and also I was just getting a little burned out. And then I stated to a few people, I said, why don't you try to throw a party? I mean, I was being a little sarcastic. These were personal friends of mine. I said, boy, oh boy, the amount of work that was involved in it took a lot. And so it was like from 10 p.m. to like 4 a.m. And that was like a 6-hour party. And I'm like, I can't, staying out to 4 a.m. Boy, oh boy, it was taking a toll. It was just very, very much becoming exhausting for me. So now it's 2023 and I had to think it over for a couple months. And I'm like, sure, why not? I'm going to do it. And also, I enjoy it. I find it very exciting. I enjoy gathering performers. I enjoy the performance arts. I enjoy performing and hosting and meeting new people. And yeah, so the first event will be Friday, May 5th. So this will be called Midnight Brunch Burlesque Night. And I had written 4 different performers. They're all burlesque performers, and they were eager to perform at this night. So the first performer, her name is Susie Doll. Susie Doll is a new face in the New York City burlesque scene, but has been gracing the pinup world with beauty and boobies for nearly a decade, combining classic vintage glamour and sex appeal. This pinup princess is moving from the pages of magazines and strutting right into your heart. I love it. The second performer, Desiree Desaad, known as the Cabinet of Burlesque Curiosities. Desiree Desaad has been bringing her unique creations to the New York City stages since 2018, from horrifying makeup transformations and over-the-top costumes to dramatic storytelling. Desiree delights in defying expectations, and you just never know what she has in store for you. That's awesome. I love it. The next performer, Spicy Delight. Daddy Delight, or MX Delight, is your god and savior. They play with the power of spirituality, sexuality, and domination, casting irresistible spells and blurring the boundaries between the sacred and the profane, recognizing that we are powerfully whole when in harmony with both. I love it. It's so awesome. And the last performer, Percy Fanny. Percy Fanny is a New York-based performer originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. She's been performing since 2012 and has experience performing classic, neo, and nerdy burlesque. Percy Fanny got her burlesque debut as Luigi in the New Orleans premiere of Boobs and Goombas and has been performing ever since. This naughty little flirt has a habit of falling in love with any person that bats her an eye. Her heart changes beat like the seasons as she flits about in search of her next prisoner. Prisoner of love. Luckily for you, the longest season in Hades is hot as hell. I love it. So May 6th is the next show. That's on a Saturday here in Queens. So that will be a lot of fun as well. So the first performer, Mistress Blake. Born and raised in Las Vegas, is hard to shock. In response, they have set out to find and provide a sense of newness and surprise. The hunt for excitement has led them to ironic corners of life. This includes working with seminarians at a church as an openly queer sex worker, giving perspective to communities needing an outspoken harlot or two. They even managed to land a couple of artist residencies in the same space where they find covert methods of teaching people how to, fuck, as they call it. Their background is in vocal performance, movement, communication, and gender. Stepping into the role of pro-dom has done nothing but elevate their ability to be who they are and speak truth to power. I love it. The next performer on May 6th is Miss Frankie Eleanor. Miss Frankie Eleanor is the true embodiment of New York City nightlife. Born and raised in NYC with a decade of critically acclaimed burlesque entertainment under the belt, she's truly the city's gem. This New Yorican bombshell's performance styles morph perfectly into any space that leaves the audience clamoring for more. Her high glam take on burlesque not just entertains but inspires patrons to look for the burlesque artist in themselves. You can see her at Nurse Betty every Thursday. I love it. And then I'm going to have a bondage and impact play demo that will be done and performed by Master Joshua. Joshua, known as Master Joshua, is in the kink community, has worked with hundreds of people, helping them achieve self-acceptance and become active participants in their own lives. From the experience of over a decade as a professional dominant, he has developed non-traditional sexual behavior counseling geared particularly towards self-actualization. His work as director of NTSB Counseling for Integrative Mind-Body Therapy Institute, NTSB Consultants, Professional Dominant, and End-of-Life Doula has helped hundreds to rid themselves of shame, see and embrace their identities, and live richer, better materialized lives. I love it. And also, I will be doing a performance. And I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to spoil the surprise. I'm not going to say what performance, but I will be performing with Ross Bound in a few clips in November and December of 2022. I shot with Ross Bound for my video store, Bizarre Cinema. And we did like a lot of bondage and a lot of role playing. So my act will gear towards bondage and role playing and fun and funny and just playful. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And the next show I have is Friday, May 12th, 2023. The performers, Pink Velvet Witch. Pink Velvet Witch is a multi-instrumentalist and performance art entity. She descends binaries. Her work is grounded in surrealism and witchcraft, both emotional and archetypical. Yeah, that's it. During the day, she haunts the Coney Island Circus sideshow as Nikki B, the talking doll, and she is the artistic curator of Music of Curiosities at CIUSA. At night, you can find her performing with Prince Viper at the Box, doing dark theatrical performance art. Educated at the School of Rosewood, she brings filth, drama, shock, and over-the-top clown core realness. So I met Pink Velvet Witch actually in Chicago, and for Bizarre Cinema, she wanted to be in my videos. So I'm like, okay, cool. She had written me a message. This was, I want to say 2017, 2016. And so we just hit it off. And then she ended up moving here to New York City and working at the Coney Island Freak Shows. So this particular performance on May 12th, let's just say it'll be like a freak show. Freak Show Friday, I called it. And the May 6th one is Midnight Brunch Kink and Queens. That's what I called it. And I thought King of Queens. I'm like, Kink and Queens, that's perfect. And King of Queens, that's a... I think I saw a few episodes back in the day, and it's so bizarre that I live in Queens now. And I think, like, okay, who's from Queens? Okay, Cyndi Lauper, the Ramones. Oh, yeah, and then I think of that orange dude, Donald Trump. So, anyway, but it's a great city to be in, and a great borough to be in, and it has its own entity, and these events will be held at Sugar Freak. The address is 37-11 30th Avenue in Astoria, New York. And the events will be held from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And the admission is $20 at the door, and that will include one free drink ticket. So the venue will give you a free drink ticket to use. And yeah, it's going to be very exciting. And I'm pretty excited myself, and it's all coming together, and I'm also currently still seeking more performers, whether it's burlesque, boylesque, freak shows, go-go dancing, cabaret, drag performers, people in the BDSM scene who would like to conduct a demo or an open mic or spoken word or poetry readers. And you're more than welcome to email me for more details if you would like to perform on a stage. And the stage is being built, actually, and I'm actually looking forward to it. And Astoria is a great neighborhood for sure. There's all kinds of nightlife, all kinds of people, all kinds of restaurants. So this will be another way to spice up Astoria on 30th Avenue. And also there's street parking, there's a parking lot. The restaurant's right by the N train, the W train. It's about a 10-minute walk from there. And yeah, if like I said, if you're interested or if you know anybody that would like to perform here in New York City, I have a stage and I'll be hosting the event, and you could send them my email, and that would be appreciated. So this is another project that I will be working on. And also, I forgot to mention that I will be also hosting another event on May 13th. That's on a Saturday. And that will be Get Kinky at Sugar Freak or something around that realm. But it'll be kink performers, fetish performers, demo artists that will be doing their thing. So, yeah. I think I got a lot off of my chest. So this is the new project that I'm working on. So regarding performance arts, I'm a big fan of performance arts, visual arts, very visual. I really love just watching the shows and also being in the shows. It's been, since I've been on stage doing a show, I think the last show I did was in Milwaukee in 2012, and what I could remember from it, it was my girlfriend and I, and she, let's see, what can I remember? Oh boy. Okay, my vac bed. I brought my vac bed. And I just basically let volunteers go inside the vac bed, and of course I would assist them and instruct them, like, okay, if this is too much for you, you have to wiggle your arms. So looking at somebody in a vac bed is visual in itself, for sure. And a lot of people have never seen a vac bed before in real life, in person, unless it's maybe on a fetish video, for sure. And yeah, that was the last on stage performance that I've done. So a little bit, I'm turning to my book, Xena, Life is a Dominatrix, found on Amazon. So I'm turning to chapter 13. Basically, this chapter I talk about performance arts and my shows. A lot of my shows I discussed, like what I did in the shows. But I'm not going to read the entire chapter. It's a lot. So I'll just read a little paragraph. My shows were wild. My shows were memorable. My shows were definitely unique. Sometimes there would be performers at various fetish parties I have attended. I became quickly inspired, so I decided to market myself as a fetish performer. I had taken 3 years of theater classes in high school, so that helped with being on stage, not having that much stage fright. There were a couple moments where I did have stage fright, but I combated it by either taking deep breaths, having a cup of coffee, chewing gum, or walking back and forth behind the stage. Some shows drew in like 10 people, and then some drew in 100, and then the most was about 500 people. I'm grateful to have performed in Chicago, LA, San Francisco, New York, Detroit, Tampa, Montreal, Munich, Germany. I remember doing a show in New York actually before I moved here. And this was in 2006. I'll never forget this. Like, I don't remember much of the show, but I remember what happened before the show. So 10 minutes before I was about to hit the stage, I wore my extra tight, skin tight black latex catsuit. And I don't know what I did, but it tore. It just tore. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So my friend, she's still my friend. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So basically oh my God, like, she just saved my ass that night for sure. So she took down all the flyers in the back area where all the performers got ready. And all the flyers were held up by black tape. So she used all this black tape to tape my latex catsuit together. And I don't have any photos. I don't have any footage of that show. I don't remember much of the show, but I just remember that. Like, she is such a great friend to help me like that. Like, she knew I was panicking and she knew I was going to be on stage. And she just was in frantic mode, like, okay, I'll help you. And that's a good friend, for sure. So I really thank her for that. And that has never happened before. Maybe before a session where I slip on a latex skirt and then it'll tear on accident. Like sometimes, see, latex is very delicate. And I think this particular session I wore a very old skirt that was at least 10 years old. And for some weird reason, I think I either bent over or I hit myself on the... I don't know. I can't remember how it tore. But basically it tore, and then I'm like, oh, fuck. So I immediately grabbed another latex skirt from my closet and slipped on the new skirt. And then when latex tears, I just get really pissed off. But it happens. But in that moment, June of 2006, on a hot summer night, my latex catsuit tore. But she did everything she could to tape it together, and I really appreciated that, for sure. And this was before I moved here. And, okay, going back to the book. Oh, yeah, and then I have a couple other stories, too, from my performances where, this is not reading from the book, but I remember there was, in Tampa, Florida, there was somebody doing like an oil wrestling something in a blow up pool. And it was like a very small pool, and there was oil. So when there's oil on the floor and you're wearing high heels, oh, that's not good. So I almost slipped and fell in front of 500 people. And I caught myself. I don't know how. I don't know. It was the goddesses that saved me. And then the show, oh, I don't remember. This was also in 2006. I don't remember much of the show. I do remember throwing a dildo at the crowd. And I remember like people trying to catch this big dildo. And that was, yeah, pretty wild time. All right, back to the book. Back then, my goal was to perform at all the big fetish parties in the main cities in the States, but I didn't. I have fond memories of my past experiences, which I'll never forget. Some friends will tell me, I remember the time that you did this and that and this and that. but my mind, like, sometimes I don't remember these things. I'm happy that some people remember the shows. Why I did stop, I realized that some of the performers of these nightclubs would either agree to fly me out and pay me very little for my show, or some would not even offer to comp my travels, or some would not offer to pay me at all. So I quickly realized self-worth is very important. Then I would spend my own money on props, costumes, and my travel expenses. And they are not cheap, all this material. I must say it was very exciting to be on stage in front of many spectators over the years. I asked myself, would I ever perform again? My answer, probably not. But you know what they say, never say never. So sometimes I'll catch myself and I'll say, I'm never going to do that again. Never say never. So doing this new project is very exciting, and getting to meet different performers online, and then I'll be meeting them in person very soon, and I'm very much excited about that. And again, this is going to be held here in Queens, the neighborhood, Astoria, and actually, from the city, it depends at night. If you're taking the train at night, the train schedules at night might be a little iffy. But from the city, from Midtown to Astoria, it's roughly about 20 minutes. It depends where in Midtown that you are in. And from Brooklyn, it all depends where in Brooklyn you are at. So, and then there's also the option to Uber, or if you have a vehicle, there's street parking or parking lot. And so the motto, never say never. So when I stop performing, I'm like, I'm never going to do that again. I'm not going to do that again. But I'm like, I miss it. I miss performing. It's a visual arts. It's a great way to express yourself. It's fun. It's entertaining. It gets to entertain people. It's a great way to be creative, and it'll be a lot of fun. I do remember another show where this is all back in Chicago. I like to reminisce about past shows, and but anyway, this particular show is a friend of mine, and I brought out my fuck saw. And nobody has ever seen a fuck saw before. And I brought it out, and it's a plug-in, and basically it's it's a dildo machine, basically. It's a fucking machine. And people were like, oh my God. And I glanced at the crowd, and I realized, wow, these people, their mouths are dropped. I must be doing something good. So having a show that's fun and fun and fulfilling is what I thrived on back then. And now the first show that I'll be hosting is May 5th. And I won't be doing any burlesque act on that day, but May 6th I will be hosting and performing. In the performance, I'm not going to say, just got to be there, or maybe stay tuned online and maybe there'll be some footage of it, perhaps. It'll be it'll be PG, maybe, or PG-13. And it's not going to be rated X. Nope. And then the next show will be May 12th, Friday, and then May 13th that I'll be hosting those shows as well. So if you're in New York City and you want to check out nightlife, come to Astoria. And the shows, they'll be fun. And I'm very much looking forward to it. All right, so I think I'm done with discussing this particular episode of Xena Life as a Dominatrix, episode 37, promotions. And thank you so much for tuning in. And again, I have a link to my Venmo page. Tips are not obligated, but tips are greatly appreciated. Thank you very much and have a great day.